We said quiet on the set, and they're being quiet. You're just gonna nod.
Yes.
Yes. Just say yes.
That's my job today.
Just nod. Okay.
Nod and agree.
Happy birthday, Michael. Yesterday? No, 2 days ago. Jess, Kelly. Welcome to another episode of the Baker Ship Show.
As the world turns.
Crazy. John Brown. Coming out tomorrow. Oh my God, why is my hair always retarded? You don't need stitches in your lip. You're an idiot.
I hope you can get them.
Gavin was drinking a blow.
That would be a Bud Light Orange.
Bud Light Orange. And they're rare apparently.
No one's selling them anymore.
Oh, they're not?
I mean, apparently, but he thought he needed to cut the top off with a knife because he's a ninja.
I wasn't the one who cut the top off.
Yana cut the top off with a knife.
Thank
And
you.
Gavin was smart enough to drink out of it. Hi, Punkage. Hey, Jackie. Linda. Dougie. Dougie's on.
Dougie House.
Okay, we're gonna give it a minute because we got a lot, people. It's been a
This won't be a short one.
I mean, a lot has happened.
Yeah. In a fairly short period of time.
Yeah, I
Like a
think
week.
it's been. Gavin, would you please go tell your brother to stop yelling at Fortnite?
Yeah, sure.
Holy good God. Hi Brenda, I owe you a message back. Sorry, you're on my list. Hey Gina, another birthday girl this month. Cheryl's on too. The House family in the house.
Nice.
So we'll just go. We'll do a little recap for those of you who are keeping track. Oh my God. Hey Sue. So a couple weeks ago, yeah, we came on and said we have regrowth. We're trying to figure out what in the hell we're going to do next. And so what we've been doing is exploring options. We've talked to Dana Farber. We've talked to Emory, a clinical trial there. We've talked to Duke. We've talked to Baptist in Jacksonville. We've talked to UAB. We sent some information to LA, but they never got back in touch with us. And we talked to a group in Colorado. So we've done a lot. We've done a lot of
Panama and
in Panama
Arizona.
and Mexico. Yeah, I mean, we've gone all over the place.
We are
figuring out-
stretching our bounds.
Yeah. So we've literally had our last thing on the docket was Monday, that we were going to go see the surgeon at UAB and talk about this clinical trial that they're doing there. After we had met with our surgeon here, who did a great job in January, she looked at John's scan and said she did not recommend surgery because it was getting much too close to dangerous parts of the brain that could really impact his motor skills. So she said she was not on board with doing surgery. So that was off the table for Emory.
For Emory.
But then the UAB doctors were like, well, we'll still meet with you and see what we can do and potentially just maybe debulk a little bit, get the tumor down a little bit, and the swelling, and then do this herpes trial, which is similar to the. You need to get in here more.
Sorry.
Similar,
My producer is not happy with me. Director, I guess.
I don't know. I could be all of the above.
You are.
Okay. So anyway, John has been struggling. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? What you've been
Headaches
experiencing?
and balance. Some weakness on the left side, which I haven't really ever had.
Yeah, really very much dragging the left leg, not using the left arm much. Struggling.
Yeah. Struggle bus.
Struggle bus. A lot of headaches that are debilitating. So, we were sort of not taking our time to get through it, but making sure we're doing we were being very vigilant about exploring options, and so we were just trying to get that last one, UAB, off our list on Monday, and then we were like, okay, then we can make a decision.
Our oncologist here wanted us to do this drug called Avastin, which helps with the swelling, but it knocks you out of surgery. So if we did that, it took a lot of things off the plate. So we were hesitant to do it.
Yeah, so we were like, we don't want to do that because, I mean, definitely can't do the herpes trial because it's not surgery. Well, it's surgery if they have to debulk, but Avastin affects how you heal. So even doing just the catheters to do the infusion into the brain with herpes or polio, you don't heal.
4 weeks.
Yeah, you have to wait 4 weeks off of Avastin. So we're trying to balance everything, right? So anyway, we go to, I'll back up before we get into the crazy story. I'll give an update on my own health.
Oh, all right.
Because after last one, I had a lot of you people reach out to me, which was really awesome. You guys are awesome. I had so many tips and tricks and suggestions for how to handle my ever-growing anxiety situation and how to actually get some sleep, because I was also struggling a lot.
Yeah.
And so actually Susan, who's on here, gave me a really cool tip that I'm going to share with you because it really works. She said if you can't go to sleep at night when your brain is busy and you're like just thinking, one of the things you can do is come up with a word. And so I like to choose the word angel. That's my word, angel. And then you think of all the words you can come up with that start with A. And then when you can't think of any more, you go to N, and then you go to G, and then I've never made it to E. I can't ever get past G because whatever, she explained it very eloquently. And I don't know, maybe Sue, put it in the comments so in case people want to know how to do it. But your brain can't make the list of things you have to do and also make the list of the letters of the words in those letters. Can't do it at the same time. So it cuts that off and allows you just to focus. So it's almost like counting backwards or counting sheep or doing all that, but you're more focused because you got to come up with these words. And so it actually does work. It's really good.
CBD may have helped too.
Yeah. Oh my God, Emily. Oof, that stuff's amazing. This stuff called Luna. It's Luna CBD oil. I use it every night. It's awesome. Thank you. And I also had somebody, grab me that box right there. Somebody sent this, but they didn't put a note with it, so I don't know who it came from, but obviously someone from here. Beam Dream CBD plus nighttime blend. If you sent this, I haven't tried it yet, but I will try it, and I thank you. But tell me so I can thank you. I'm very curious. It just arrived the other day. So
We have stuff showing up at our door.
we do. And I have 2 bottles of wine came tonight. I get a lot of wine, but I need it. Let's be honest. Sounds like a herd of elephants coming down the stairs. But also I did meet with my doctor, as I said I was going to, and she listened to me for about 5 minutes. And she was like, girl, you need some help. So I did. I got on Prozac. Can you believe it?
And you're announcing it. I like it.
I'm announcing
Own it.
I am owning it. God damn it. I'm on Prozac. And she gave me Xanax, which I have not tried yet. I'm a little scared of it. But I have to, like, I've been on Prozac for like 2 weeks.
Have you?
I mean, it takes like 6 weeks to get all in your system, but whatever. I don't give a shit. Whatever's gonna work at this point. So that's where we are with that. So, that's the update on me. Still drinking wine. And that's it. And I'm on Prozac.
Wine and Prozac. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that.
I think you can't do it with Xanax and Prozac. That's what Kelly Legaspi
So that's why you don't want to do Xanax.
I mean, yeah, I have to give up the wine.
Not worth it.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared of it. Anyway, so that's me. I'm trying to read these. God damn, my glasses. I need to upgrade my prescription. Anyway, that's what's happening. Oh, the other thing that I started doing that really I find helps me calm down when I'm feeling super anxious and I'm like getting so like super salty.
Wound up?
Yeah, wound up, and I'm getting angry and my temper gets short because
That happens.
I'm Irish, It's fair. It's a thing.
That's an excuse.
It's a thing.
Is it?
Irish temper.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's legit.
All right.
There's Irish people on here. Confirm it, please. My family. Anyway, I started doing this thing that does diffuse it, where I get ramped, and if I can remember to tell myself, if I can remember to do it, I stop and I go, okay. And I come up with 2 things that I'm very grateful for. And then my sister said, just expand on that. Not just you're grateful for it, why are you grateful for it? I'm grateful because blah, 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 blah. And it goes, it does. It works. I just have to remember.
So I've been doing the Deepak and Oprah meditation that JoJo also.
Yeah. Suggested that you do. John's getting emotional. He's emotional, and that's okay because the doctor said it's caused by the steroids. I have a different theory, which I'll share with you later. So we had an interesting weekend, which is why I wanted to title this episode, Holy Shit, That Was Close. Holy shit balls, that was close. Oh my God. So some of you have heard through the grapevine that we had an interesting weekend. Some of you, I don't know what you've heard. I know you've heard something, and I don't know if it's the actual story. So like we do, we're going to tell you the actual story. So we go out to the lake on Thursday. We go out to the lake house Thursday. And John had a bad night, as he does sometimes, where he's just in a lot of pain. So he's just like, his head hurt so much. And he was up a lot. And kind of, he does like kind of moaning through the night, and he's up a lot. And so at one point he got up and he came back to bed, and he sort of lay across the bed. So he was like across me. Instead of lying this way, he was laying down this way.
She does not like that, by the way.
I don't like anybody touching me.
That's unfortunate.
When I'm sleeping especially.
She doesn't like being pinned in.
I don't. Anyway, he did, and I was like, okay, fine. Do it. I thought it was gracious.
Now connected to laptop EV2FF750.
What?
Alexa's connected to somebody. Who knows what's going to come out of her right now. So, anyway. Then at 4:30 in the morning, that happened, and then he kept moaning and moaning and moaning, and I said, did you take anything for your head? And he said, no. And I said, why? And he said, because I can't open the bottle. So I was like, God damn it. I can open the bottle. Ask me for help. So I got up.
I'm scared in the evening waking her up, for sure.
I mean, I like to be awakened.
I know.
But I was already awake. That was the point.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so I got up, got him his meds. Oh, by the way, while he was laying across me, he punched me in the face 2 times. Did you mean to do that?
No. I didn't.
Anyway. So.
The first time I didn't.
Funny. Super funny. And so I gave him his meds, and then I grabbed my pillow and I went to the couch, which I'd never, ever, ever done before. But I was so freaking tired. I couldn't. I had to go. Never done it before. So then at 8:30, I get up because Duncan's still homeschooling. And I go through the bathroom to go into my room to get our laptops, and I see John's pajamas on the ground. I was like, that's weird. Okay. Go and get the laptops, go back out, get Duncan going, get school done. Then I start my own work, and then Jess gets there in the meantime. And so we're talking, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, we probably need to get him some food, because a lot of times when he has these headaches, he sleeps most of the day. So you just got to bring him food and bring him water every now and then, just make sure he's good. So, Steve Heyman said, Kathy's watching, she's just cutting hair at the same time. And
Multitasking.
Multitasking. And so, Jess made him some eggs, and I was working, and then, and so then I said, did he eat? And she said, no, he didn't come out. So I said, okay, we'll just go feed him in bed. Well, he can eat in bed, it's fine. So I go into the room and try to get him up to eat, and I got to his side of the bed, and there was some sticky stuff on the ground, and my flip-flops were like, so I was like, what the? And at first I thought it was like dog pee, because, you know, gynae, it's about goddamn time you're watching this shit. And that wasn't dog pee. We have a puppy, so it wasn't dog pee. So I was like trying to figure out what it was, and I said, I woke him up. I said, hey, did you throw up? And I got nothing in response. So I was like, hey, honey, did you throw up? And he didn't answer me. And so I said, I need you to open your eyes. I need you to talk to me. Did you throw up? You guys, nothing. So I ran out into the kitchen and I said, Jess, get in here. Something's wrong. She comes in. We get him set up. She's trying to give him some water. I'm cleaning up the mess. Nothing. It's very emotional.
Fucking Dex. Steroids.
It's totally the steroids. Anyway, unresponsive. Couldn't get him open his eyes. Couldn't get him to sip any water. Couldn't get him to talk. So I ran out, called the doctor, his oncologist, told him what was happening. Oh, in the meantime, we saw that he had a bump on his head. Or not a bump, but scrape. Like 2 scrapes here and 1 here. So I was like, what did he hit his head on? Like, what happened? So then I'm like, did he have a concussion? Is he throwing up because he has a concussion? Like, what's happening? So I called the doctor, told him what was happening. He said, that's a 911 call to me. And I was like, we're in Alabama. What do we do? What do I do? Where do I go? And he said, go to your local place. We need to know if he has a brain bleed, if he had a seizure. Call 911, asked them to not turn on the lights because all the kids are there. And they came. He responded a little bit. When they asked where he was, he thought he was in the hospital. Got a little bit of response, but not much. So
That's my standard response. When someone asks me, where are you? Do you know what happened? I must be in the fucking hospital.
yeah. So we went to the Wedowie Hospital. And of course they didn't want to let me in. So Jess and I were sitting in the parking lot. And then they did end up letting me in because of course he can't answer any of his goddamn questions. So they're like, we need you in here. I said, good, about damn time. So I go in and they're trying to do all this stuff. Anyway, long story, long story. But Jess is waiting in the parking lot. Randy's coming out from Atlanta to go get all the kids and get everybody back to Atlanta. And then, so then the doctor comes in after he got a CT scan, and I've never met this doctor, of course. And he has this look on his face, and he comes in like he's coming for a hug, and then he stopped himself, and he was like, and then he says, like whispered, he said, do you want me to say this in front of him? So I was like, yeah. And so he said,
You probably can't understand what you're saying anyway.
you?
Yeah.
Maybe not. So he said he has a lot of swelling on his brain, and I said, I know. He's had a lot of swelling on his brain. And he said, well, the midline has shifted. And I said, I know. It had already shifted by about 1 centimeter. Y'all, his midline brain had shifted 1 centimeter. And then, it's like your own personal drinking game. Every time you tear up, you can just drink.
Yeah.
You're only drinking water though.
Doesn't count.
It's not the same. And then he said, no, it's shifted quite a bit more than a centimeter. So I was like, okay. There's no bleed and there was no seizure. He said, okay. And then he said, I'm going to go call his doctor. I said, all right. And I just waited. And then, Jojo says, good job drinking your water. She's on him about that.
Refill.
So, I sat there with him. Dog. And, then the doctor called, my doctor, his doctor, called and said, where are you going?
Get the dog.
Taking a break. And said, I just talked to the doctor in Widowie, and he said it's not good. He said your options are surgery or surgery. And I said, no, why can't we do Avastin? And he said, it's asking a lot of Avastin right now because of the swelling. And I said, but the Dr. Wong already said we can't do surgery because it's too dangerous. And he said, it is dangerous. And I was like, well, then why can't we just do Avastin? And he said, it's a lot. He just said, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask of it. Like, okay. And then he said, there is another option. And I don't like to say this over the phone, but coming back at a very bad point. You sure?
Yeah.
He said, I don't like to say this over the phone, but your other option is you don't do anything. He said he's had a good run. He's lasted longer than most people. He's can feed himself and get around and work out and do all these things he's been able to do and maintain himself. And so your other option is you do nothing and you just, he stays asleep and he doesn't wake up and he gets to go out on top.
That was cheery news,
That was cheery news.
but an option. Just not a very good one.
Wasn't very good. So then I officially lost my shit. And sat there as the nurse techs stared at me, crying, because they couldn't hear the other end of the phone. And then they left. And then I got my shit together. And then I went and talked to this guy. And he was struggling. And I held his hand and I said, are you too tired? Are you too tired to keep doing this? Are you too tired to keep fighting?
In the meantime, you got to tell him about the blood draws, because that was not
I don't know
helpful.
if that happened before or after though. Well, they were trying to draw his blood and he was completely dehydrated and they weren't giving him fluids, so they literally poked him like 500 times in every possible vein in his entire body. I was like, can you give him some fluids? Can you get some fluids? He's dehydrated, can't even see his lips. He needs some fluids. Finally, they gave him fluids. But, yeah, so when I asked you if you were tired and you were too tired to do this anymore, he nodded. He nodded. In the moment. In the moment. You He's too tired. So we sat there. Well, I sat there. Actually, I didn't sit there because I actually logged over 10,000 steps that day in the hospital room. So I guess I was pacing a lot. And we waited. I waited. We waited. Jess waited in the parking lot. I waited inside. We just waited. And took about 8 hours until we got transported to Emory. But in the meantime, it was like some divine intervention. Talk a lot to angels. I was calling in the angel troops because I needed help, and I needed help. I needed clarity. I needed help because my mind, I mean, this is just real life. Went from holy shit, I can't be a fucking widow, to holy shit, I can't have my kids not have a dad, to holy shit, how do you plan a funeral during COVID? And if we have to do that, there has to be a way to celebrate this because we have to. And how do we do this? And how are we gonna do this? And how are we gonna get?
Had they start putting the decks in yet? The steroid?
I don't remember.
They must have had a line because they were doing fluids.
The Dex came before the fluids. They did do a syringe of Dex at some point. And anyway, it was awful. Worst day of my life. And I don't know. I sat and paced and held hands, and I don't know. Like 4 hours in, at one point, I don't know. It was literally like a light bulb. I was like, no. Tasha, I don't know if you're watching because I can't see, but I don't know if you guys remember from the very beginning, I was like, I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting it. And this is swelling. It's a swelling issue. We can fix the swelling. We can fix it. I started looking up the Avastin situation because I hadn't given it much thought. Started looking up Avastin, started looking it all up, and started looking at studies, and started figuring it all out. And then I was like, this is it. This is what we're doing. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do Avastin. We're gonna get you home. We're gonna do radiation. We're gonna start this care protocol, which we'll talk about in a minute. Very exciting. And the shit, no. So I jumped up. I went back to him. I held his hand, and I said, I have a plan, honey. I have a plan. I think it's gonna work. And will you please just fight a little longer? And he nodded and he squeezed my hand. So I said, okay, we're doing this. I said, trust me. You fight on the inside, I'm fighting on the outside. Here's what we're gonna do. Told him the plan. And I felt better. I felt like, okay, we can do it. So it took 8 hours. 8 hours waiting for transport. Not for transport, for Emory to have a bed on bed. And they finally said, we have a doctor to accept him. Okay, good. Well, now we have to wait for a bed. Okay, good. Well, now we have a bed, but we have to wait for them to clean the room. I was like, we're 2 fucking hours away. They can't clean it while he's on the way? No. They had to wait until the room was clean before we could start being transported. I was like, ugh. So they finally come. Ambulance comes to take him, and this sweet little boy who was like 12, who came to get him in the first place, was back to then transport him. And he walks in, and he's like, hey, girl. I was like, hey.
Flirting with you already.
He wasn't flirting. He's like 12. But it was cute. He just felt it. And so, and then the other guy who wasn't at the house earlier, he says, what kind of cancer does he have? And I said, glioblastoma. And he was like, my dad had that. And his dad's name was John McCain, who, of course, also died of glioblastoma. And I don't know, it just felt good to me that he was there and he knew the deal, and I just felt like it was good. And so Jess had come around back to where the ambulance was, because she'd been waiting in the parking lot for 8 hours, and then came and she got to see him before they took him away. And actually, we were kissing you goodbye, and Jess came up and kissed him, and she said, I love you, and he said, I love you too. And that was like the most words he'd spoken since the night before. But then he still wasn't awake or anything. So they took him, and I wasn't allowed to go because Emery wouldn't let anybody in. So Jess and I drove back here to Atlanta. And so when I talked to Emery when they got him, then I texted the doctor, his doctor, and I said, I appreciate your words. I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate your perspective. However, I'm not done. We're not giving up. So here's what I want. I want Avastin. I want it to happen soon. We wasted 8 hours. Can you make this happen? I said, he, in a perfect world, will get better. He will get home. We'll give him radiation. We'll start a new path. And at a minimum, get him out of the hospital and he can be home and everybody can come and say their goodbyes, because that couldn't happen in the hospital. I said, people need to see him. His best friend needs to see him. His mom needs to see him. His kids need to see him. You have to get him home. And I said, I need your help. I need your help. And so he said, I'll go see him in the morning. So Emery told me that rounds happen at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7. So I was awake at 5:30 in the morning. Well, I didn't go to sleep till like 2:30. Emmeline and Jojo came here, and Cameron and Madeline cleaned the house, emptied my refrigerator. I don't know what they did. They did a lot of shit. Anyway, so I got to bed at like 2:30. I woke up at 5:30, waiting for the phone to ring, and then the phone rings at like 7:45 or something.
I didn't have my cell phone.
I had your cell phone.
Yeah.
Couldn't use it.
They did have a hard line in the hospital, thank goodness.
Yeah. So my phone rings. I'm expecting the doctor. I said, hello? And I hear a voice that says, what is going on? What is happening? Where am I? And I went, Jonathan? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, honey? And he said, yeah, what am I doing? What is happening right now? And I went, oh my God. I was literally like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you're talking. And he was like, where am I? What is happening right now? I was like, oh my God, oh my God. So he was like literally back from the dead. Like we were all waiting for the call to say he didn't make it through the night. Like it was unbelievable. So we got the phone, remembered my goddamn number, which nobody remembers numbers anymore. And then, you woke up. What do you remember?
I didn't know where I was. People were yelling at me, do you know where you are? Do you know what's going on? I said, I'm in a hospital. Did I have surgery already? And they're like, no. I didn't, because I was thinking I'm at UAB, and I don't know why I'm at UAB yet. I don't remember getting checked in, but I did know if you answer wrong, you stay in the hospital longer, because they don't think you know what the hell you're doing. So I was like guessing, just playing kind of well, what makes sense.
And you called me.
And then I called you. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? I can ask you, I know you're not going to keep me in the hospital longer.
No, I was not.
But of course, you have to dial 9 to get out on that goddamn phone. So I dialed her number like 20 times, and it didn't work. I was like, shit, my brain's not working. I can't freaking dial a phone. So they finally said you got to dial 9 to get out. It's like, okay, that'd be nice to know. Appreciate it. And of course, you don't remember any numbers because everything's in your cell phone.
Oh my God. Thank God I'm on Prozac.
It was definitely a shock.
I mean, I had such a meltdown. Holy shit. So yeah, his doctor went and saw him, and then he called me and he was like, I can't believe how he looks right now. He said if he was in the shape that you said he was, which I'm not gonna freaking lie about that. He's like, this is extremely rare. It's a huge blessing. Those were his words. It's extremely rare, a huge blessing, and he said that guy's relentless. I said he is relentless. He is. Steroids.
Steroids or your theory.
So we I still think my theory's right. Oh my God. And so fast forward, Sunday, my sister and I are going down. This is Saturday morning, he calls me. Sunday, I'm going down to get him out. We're getting discharged Sunday. We come home, he takes a shower, see the kids, and then we go over to Jess and RG's and we're eating ribs by the pool. So when we're on our way over there, Jojo was driving and Cameron was in the front seat. He and I were in the back seat, and I was like, did you see light? Did you see angels?
Did you see Jesus?
Did you see Jesus? Are you going to write a book? Or can we turn it into a movie? And my sister was like, oh my God. And he starts crying. And I was like, this is my theory. Because he's not emotional at all. I was like, maybe God gave you a heart when you were up there. And then, and then Jojo said, you know, if you want a bitch slapper, I won't stop you.
I didn't.
You did it. It was funny. I'm funny. I am.
You think you are.
I do think I am.
Yeah.
I do.
Which makes it funny.
Oh my God, you guys. So, anyway, Avastin started on Monday. He had his first infusion, and
I'm COVID free.
he got a COVID test, so there's that. We love JoJo too, Kathy. See, Vicky thinks I'm funny. I'm funny AF. Thank you, Suzanne and Karen. Look, all these people.
Yeah, but
funny.
you get the sympathy vote.
I do. I do. Maybe that's true. Oh my God. So, started Avastin on Monday, and got fitted simulation done for radiation yesterday, and that starts next Wednesday. And the most cool thing that we're so excited, and we were so excited before this all happened, because we were like, holy shit, we're so close to like the real deal, and how can this end right now? How can it end? We're so close. You guys. No, Geraldine. He said he didn't see Jesus or the light or angels.
No, I didn't see any of it. For sure. At least.
I don't think you tried hard enough.
Well, I don't think I was trying. And I might not have remembered if I did, so.
I mean, people remember, that's why they write a book about it.
Yeah, no books.
It could be rich. Have you seen the movies they make about that shit?
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. Just saying.
Sorry,
So.
I failed.
You
I'll go
failed.
closer next
No,
time.
don't.
Go closer to the light.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. So, anyway, this thing that Jess discovered a year and a half ago?
More than a year.
Year and a half ago. It's called the London cocktail. I think we've talked about it,
Yeah.
but we never explored it very carefully, because people who do these funky cocktail things, they tend to have really bad side effects. So we've always thought of these as, okay, they're your Hail Mary. You try them. When you're like done, you got nothing else to try. So we didn't explore it as much as we should have, and we're kind of kicking ourselves now. But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason.
It's time.
We are where we are, and it's fine. So This London cocktail, it's so cool. I just printed all this stuff. Care Oncology, telling you, you guys,
Good people.
good people. They make life so easy. Oh my God. You guys, we talked to this place in Panama that they do infusions, peptide and stuff like that. You go 2 weeks, it's like $54,000. We talked to this other place. You fly into Arizona, go across the border 2 blocks. You're in Mexico, so you have access to all this stuff that's not FDA approved. You don't have to worry. You don't have to play by the rules. Go. We're like, okay, we'll go there. We'll do that. And it's 2 weeks is like $31,000. None of it on insurance. Who cares, right? If it works, who cares? Pay whatever. Doesn't matter.
More so, there's no. It's kind of the wild, wild west in
Yeah.
a foreign country.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have done it, but a little uncomfortable, certainly.
Yeah. It feels like I describe it as, it feels like you're going to go find a shaman hut in the middle of the desert, which I'm also not opposed to,
Yeah.
if it works. I don't care. But it feels like that.
Less legitimate.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, this care protocol, we talked to them. They're based out of London. They have people now in the US. We talked to the nurse practitioner. She's in Colorado. Of course, it's all Zooming. And the doctors that are specializing in GBMs, one of them is in Ohio, and she's a neuro-onc who retired last year and works full-time. She works at the Cleveland Clinic. She works full-time for Care Oncology now. The other one, he's not retired. He's still doing this, but he works with them too. He's out of Houston. And it's a cocktail of 4 drugs that are over market. They're like
Random drugs.
random. Metformin. Oh crap, a statin. It's like a Lipitor. A doxycycline, and then mebendazole. That's like a pinworm dewormer for kids. So it's a Lipitor drug, it's a statin drug, it's a diabetic drug, it's a dewormer, and it's doxycycline. And you take all 4 of those together, do something specifically with GBMs, cross the blood-brain barrier, slow the progression till it stops the progression, till it starts going after the tumor, and it's amazing. They have 4,000 patients in the US right now. Amazing results. It's so crazy. So when we asked Lisa, actually, we were on the Zoom together, John's sister Lisa, asked Dr. Mendez, why did you get out of neuro-onc at Cleveland Clinic and come work for them? And she said, because it's so frustrating to be in this world and know that something is working, but because of insurance and because of FDA and all this stuff, you can't prescribe the patient something that she knows will work. And so she left. She retired and went to work for these guys. So exciting, and they make everything so easy. It's like all of the documentation that they need. Oh my God, it's like so easy. Everything's so hard in this world. It's so hard, and they were so easy. And anyway, tomorrow we're supposed to be getting our meds. So I told you those prices of the Panama and the Mexico for a reason, because when we asked them, do you take insurance? They said no. And then we said, okay, what's the cost? Well, you get 3 months, your first 3 months
Of doctors'
of
consults.
doctors, 24/7 care, blah, 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 at your fingertips whenever you need. And like I said, super easy. $800. $800. Not $31,000, not $54,000. $800. And the meds are like under $200 for 3 months. 3 months supply, under $200.
Still can't figure out how they're doing that. I'm the money guy. I'm like, how does that work?
No.
Pam says, well, they can have they have 4,000 patients, so I guess if they've got that many patients, because they can roll through them with the telemedicine.
Telehealth. I don't know, you guys. I'm excited. I'm excited. And I said, this is it. That's it. He was on the Peloton today. Out walking the neighborhood. How are you feeling?
Good.
That's not very...
Better than Friday.
Yeah. I'm feeling better than Friday too.
Yeah. And I got a, what was the pill I took?
Ambien.
I took an Ambien. That shit works.
He took Ambien because he's not sleeping, but his dog
Man,
took it.
I slept like a freaking baby last night. And I needed it.
You did.
I will pop another one of those suckers tonight for sure.
He's lost a lot of weight too, so we're trying to pack on some weight.
I've been eating so much I got the hiccups.
We're packing it on. I know how to cook for CFers, so I can
She-
pack on some weight.
She made a chicken parm, a keto chicken parm tonight
Did.
that was freaking rock star.
I did.
Best chicken parm I've ever had. But I don't like breaded. So this was cheesy and wonderful.
Wonderful.
You could eat it, you could cook that again if you really wanted to.
Took forever. That's okay. I'll do it. Anyway, crazy.
Crazy.
It was a whirlwind. Crazy. I went from worst day of my life to elation on Saturday morning to holy shit, we're sitting by the pool eating ribs on Sunday. That was insane. But you truly are. You look better than you have in close to a month. You feel
I
better.
feel way better.
Yeah.
After that sleep last night, I feel like a rock star.
He's not listing. He's not running into walls. You're not dragging your leg.
Yeah.
He's doing so much better. Getting emotional again. It's a new lease on life, honey.
Damn you.
Just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. So it's like you started over Saturday. Saturday was day one. We're stealing all the days now because we thought they were gone.
Rebirth day.
It was rebirth day. Saturday was a rebirth. Yep. That's it. So, we'll do Avastin every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Radiation.
And they said the second Avastin will help with the swelling even more, which is, I'll take it. I'd like to get off the steroids for sure, but the steroids,
Are good. You want to tell them about your radiation?
what about it?
How long it takes and what the
Oh.
process is?
So the radiation, first time through, you gotta go 6 weeks of radiation, 5 days a week. This one's 2 weeks. So it's a little easier, 5 days a week. And the radiologist said that it'll really help.
Well, it's rebirth. It's rebirth. Anyway, you pack on some weight, get you back to fighting stance.
Yeah.
Do radiation, continue with Avastin. That's sort of indefinite. Start this care protocol, which will also be indefinite. And steal the days, one by one. Yep.
What day was it? We were back
You're gonna make
Saturday?
a shit ton of greenies this weekend.
Yes, I am.
Greenies are the...
Until you say stop. I'm gonna keep filling your freaking cup.
I said he owes me. You owe me greenies. Greenies are his grandfather's, granddad's
Granddad.
specialty drink, which is rum and limeade and creme de menthe,
Creme de menthe.
frozen blender. Oh, it's a good doc drink.
Yeah.
I said, God damn it, you owe me. You got a big fat apology for putting me through that shit.
Yeah.
I want a whole blender full of greenies this weekend.
I'm just gonna give you the fucking blender.
Better be full.
Here you
I
go.
don't want an empty blender. I want a full blender.
Yeah.
All right. No more of this shit. Don't ever do that again. Ever.
I agree.
Ever. Don't. So anyway, that's the latest. In Bakerland.
Drama. Just sign in to Coffee, Cancer, and Cocktails, and we'll make your life seem like it's awesome. Fuck COVID. You people fucking around with COVID and freaking out about this shit. Bunch of wuss bags. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, or freaking out about fall sports. I'm sorry if you are.
Yeah.
But I can't freak out about fall sports right now. I'm freaking out
Wear a
about
mask and
I'm
go on down the road.
freaking out about rebirths.
Yeah.
Perspective. It's just
Yeah.
perspective.
Everyone's got their own story.
They do. Their own struggles. Their own journey.
Yeah.
We still have a journey.
We're 142. That's a record.
Might be. Telling you.
Must see TV here.
I said when we were getting ready, the kids were all in here, I'm like, all quiet on the set. Oh God.
She even bought a light, but she doesn't like it, so
By
it
the
got.
way.
You did. You bought that round one.
No, well, I think it was Stephen Heyman originally sent that light.
Oh.
But I feel like it's so bright, it
Yeah, it's a
reflects
little-
off my glasses. Anyway, that's it, people. We
Peace.
gotta watch Outlander.
Yeah.
It's already 10,
Is it?
almost. Anyway, what are we on? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, Wednesday? What's today? Wednesday. You're on
Wednesday.
5 days of your new life. Jake's birthday was yesterday. We got to celebrate that.
That was great.
18. Yep. Can you cry again one more time? One more time before we go. Bet I can make you.
I bet you can. The wind can blow and I'll cry.
I know. So cute.
So cute.
Any parting words for your fans
No.
who are still cheering for you? No?
Keep sending energy.
I knew it! I knew he'd cry again.
You're cruel.
Love you.
Love you too.
Rebirth.
Good decision
Which one?
to push on.
Yep. I have all the good decisions. Just gotta listen to what I say. I've told you that for 20 goddamn years. 30!
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. One of these days, you're gonna believe it. Right?
Yes.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you guys. Thanks for being part of it. I'm glad you're not coming to a funeral.
Yeah.
One more time. Cry. One more time for the road.
Now when you're laughing at me. That doesn't make me cry.
Doesn't.
No.
I'm gonna watch Outlander.
Yeah. And give me Reiki.
Okay.
I need me Reiki.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Love you. Mwah, mwah,
Thanks.
mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.